trajectory in the global textile landscape, the blue ocean strategy. In a world where competition is fierce, where margins are shrinking, and regulations around sustainability are tightening, we must ask ourselves a bold question. Should we continue to compete in saturated markets, or can we create new markets where competition becomes irrelevant? This is where the blue ocean strategy comes in. Blue ocean strategy developed by W. Chan Kim. He is the Institute Business School professor, and Rini Moborkne is a business approach that focus on creating uncontested market space by simultaneously pursuing a differentiation and low cost, aiming to make competition irrelevant. It is not about battling competitors in existing markets, what we call the red ocean. It is about creating an uncontested market spaces, tapping into the unmet needs and unlocking new demand, the blue oceans. For Tirupur, this means moving beyond price wars and volume-based exports. It is about positioning ourselves as leaders in innovation, sustainability, and ethical manufacturing. It is about building value-driven, future-ready enterprises that global market cannot ignore. Let me outline how Tirupur can embark on its ocean journey. All the principles will be explained by Sri Subramanian. Embark on its blue ocean strategy. Innovative product development. Now, from waterless dyeing and biofinishing to smart textiles and circular apparel systems, we must be the early adopters and torch bearers of textile innovations. We have already developed various biodegradable fiber. For an example, banana fiber from the waste plant, the areca fibers. So these are the things will be market for 2030. And we have already started focusing our vision, taking a study that what exactly the enterprise has the product, again, technology and business model. And what is going to be in 2030 and also in 2047, that Viksit Bharat, already study happens, it is being done by Ministry of Textiles. So here, the second thing is eco-compliance as differentiation. You may be aware that eco-design sustainable product regulations have come into effect. It is going to be mandatory from next year onwards, where life cycle assessment and digital product passport both becomes integral part of the ESPR. So instead of viewing ESG compliance and life cycle assessment, digital product passport regulations as burdens, let us convert them into strategic advantages. By investing in eco-certification, traceability, and digital product passports, Tirupur can emerge as a global compliance hub. Now again, branding Tirupur. We must move from being just a manufacturing destination to building a brand that represents sustainable fashion and ethical production. Why can't Tirupur labels be seen in global fashion weeks and retail shelves? So in fact, we have started this Texpo 2025, where we will be taking around 100 exporters across India to Spain and Germany, where they will demonstrate their innovative product and that is uniqueness of the product and compliances to the eco-design sustainable product regulations, particularly for durability, recycle content, the properties. So these are the things will really attract the customers. And a collaborative ecosystem, the startups, MSMEs, academic institutions, and government must work as one. Incubation centers are already sowing seeds of innovation. Now it is the time to scale up. Blue ocean in market access. Let us look at underserved markets in Africa, Latin America, and emerging Europe. Let us create niche products for healthcare textiles, wearable tech, and eco-active wear. New oceans await. Friends, the winds of change are already blowing. The next decade will not reward those who follow, but those who lead with vision, courage, and creativity. Tirupur has all the ingredients: a strong manufacturing base, a skilled workforce, a mindset of sustainability, and a hunger for growth. Let us not swim in red oceans, strained uh, by cutthroat competition. Let us sail into blue oceans filled with possibility. The strategy is clear, the opportunity is now, and Tripura is ready. I am happy to associate with Sri Arun Subramaniam ji for knowledge sharing in Tripur clusters. Thank you very much. Best wishes.
Thank you, Peryaswamy sir, for giving us a clear direction. I love the way you said, that the coming decade is not for followers, but for leaders. Enough. When we talk about India being the Vishwaguru, I think, we need to recognize that what we require are leaders. But then fortunately, unfortunately, only good followers turn into leaders. And of that, we have plenty with us. Now let us nudge them on to leadership position. With this, friends, let's start today's journey of understanding how exactly red ocean is formed. Because before we get into what blue ocean strategy is all about, we need to first understand red ocean. Today's session is mainly going to be about red ocean and what all you can learn about blue ocean so that you can become leaders and lead the country and the industry into the next decade. I would not be wrong if I were to say that every individual on this platform has at one time or the other thought of doing business if they are not doing so now. Everyone has thought, why shouldn't I start something of my own? And the thinking behind them has always been, what happened? Just a minute. Yeah. And you see, whenever a person thought of doing business, the first thing he thought was that he is going to create a new market space for himself. And what is he going to do in the new marketplace? Present a differentiated product and service. And what will that do? It will ensure that he is the only competitor and no one else is there to compete with him. He will create and define a new value proposition, which will take care of all the pains of the customers, give them the best possible solution so that they will be more or less wedded to him. And in the process, he will enjoy unrestricted growth, create wealth for himself and his employees, and above all, enjoy doing business. This is what every individual starts thinking whenever he starts thinking about doing business. But what happens when he enters into the market as a business person? The first thing he realizes is that the entire market is already tremendously crowded, with over 100 similar products already present, which are just hiding behind the screen, giving him the false notion that he is alone. And every day he is having to fight, to better them and to optimize the existing products so that he can survive, struggling with a cost value balance, to give benefits constantly to his customer in terms of bonuses and other things, which hit his profit tremendously. And in the process, finally, he gets disgusted and surrenders. And then his life becomes one of trying to survive. He thought he is going to be entering into a blue ocean, even though he might not have thought about it as a blue ocean, but where he landed was in a red ocean. When he thought of attracting a fish, he ended up attracting a shark. And what is that shark, my dear friends? Can any one of you tell me, unmute and tell me, what is the name of the shark which he attracted?
Buyers who you don't normally want.
Competition.
Cutthroat competition.
Commodization of product. Commodization.
Correct, Goswami sir. It is commoditization.
Thank you.
Absolutely right. What happened was what is known as commoditization. So what is this commoditization? Commoditization is the process whereby customers systematically eliminate everything unique about your firm and offering, reducing them to the lowest common denominator, price. It is characterized by price-based competition. All features differentiation goes out of the market, out of your head. You are driven to compete exclusively on price. You keep on driving price down so that you can survive. There is loss of brand and differentiation. You have become a commodity. That's the simple truth. That means what? Margins are continuously decreasing. We experience this. But how many of us know how markets get commoditized? Can anyone tell me how market gets commoditized?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because people start copying your product. So whatever your product, because unless you go on changing and innovating new things, people start copying and reduce their rates. And same product, whatever you're selling for, say, $10, people start selling at $8.
Okay. Anyone else? This is one way.
Guruji,
The more you standardize, it get commodized.
Excellent.
the more people get into the same product, same services, same market.
Mass production.
Okay. Mass production. Very good.
It's just a Me Too approach. I mean, always trying to copy the next competition, getting the same GST data, getting the same data of imports and exports and just copying it.
Fantastic.
And thanks to the machine manufacturers also telling you to do the same thing.
Thank you, friends. Now let us see what are the various ways commoditization occurs. It is happening all around us. But many of us are not aware of exactly what is happening, how it happens. Commoditization is a worldwide phenomenon. It is not restricted to one place. There are 6 different types by which commoditization occurs. The first is deterioration. We will see each one what it is. Can I please request everyone to mute their audios, please, so that the background noise does not disturb? Please mute. Thank you. First is deterioration. The second is a phenomenon called proliferation. The third is a phenomenon called escalation. The fourth is a phenomenon called standardization. Now we get into tricky areas because we are not even aware that these things can contribute to massive commoditization. Standardization. The fourth is knowledge diffusion. And then we have got 6 regulatory changes. All these can ensure that your product has become commoditized and you enter into a price war. Let's understand with example one by one. Proliferation. What do you see here? Mineral water. 10 rupees per bottle. Hundreds of brands are there. Every brand is offering the same thing. And your sales gets restricted to only one locality in the geography. This is proliferation. That's absolutely, you are just, you go to, today when you go to a shop, you ask for, let us say, Bisleri, he will give you anything which is there in his fridge and you will take it and come. According to you, that is as good as any other, and according to the shopkeeper, all brands of mineral water are the same. This is a classic example of proliferation. Second is deterioration. What happens? There is a leader who is having monopoly, Surf, for instance. In comes a new player offering tremendously low price, hits him below the belt, and even he is forced to copy him. Can any one of you tell me which product I'm talking about?
Ariel.
Nirma.
Nirma.
Nirma came and killed the detergent market, and then even Hindustan Liver had to launch equivalents of Nirma. This is one place where what happens is a new entrant comes in, gives you a low-end product, and you are forced to follow suit, and in the process, hundreds of brands come in. Before Nirma came, how many brands of detergents were there in the market? And after Nirma came, it's flooded. Every locality is manufacturing detergent powder and selling. Then we come to the third type called escalation. What is special about escalation? Can anyone tell me?
Features. Scaling up of the functions, scaling up.
Additional feature.
The peculiarity of escalation is you constantly innovate to give better and better and better features while the price is keeping on going down and margins are shrinking, and dozens and dozens and dozens of brands come out into the market, and there is absolutely no differentiation between anything. It is just another handset. Totally commoditized. Then comes standardization. The telecom industry through spectrum auction, credit cards and debit cards are all examples of standardization leading to commoditization. Today, there is a huge price war going on in the telecom industry, and the same thing is happening in the credit card industry and so many other industries which have got standardized. The GEM portal, and all these have totally standardized the products. There is no differentiation. Pharma also, same thing. That will come not under standardization, but under regulatory changes. We will see that. Then you have got knowledge diffusion. where things like policybazaar.com, Trivago, Kayak, all these things, they have come out and they are comparing all the things which are available in the industry, so that now there's absolutely no secrecy, no differentiation, no innovation in anything. You know which insurance is offering what is the best, and then you go for it on the price basis. Same thing for hotels, same thing for traveling. Knowledge diffusion is another way by which the commoditization is taking place in a huge way. And then you have got regulatory changes, generic medicines, fertilizers, animal feeds. Everything has become generic. Today, there is only a potash for a fertilizer. Medicine, amoxicillin. That's all. No differentiation, nothing, only price rules. 6 different ways by which commoditization is taking place. You just bat an eyelid, your product has become commoditized. That is the danger of commoditization. And this trap, called the commodity trap, means that there are too many clones and copycats in the market. Too little buyers and too many sellers. Just imagine how many companies are selling amoxicillin. How many companies are selling potash? NPK, if I'm not mistaken, or NKP, whatever it is. How many insurances are there? Lack of loyalty, adherence to the beaten path. Everyone is following the same path because they know whatever you do, you are going to get commoditized. Before you can say Jack Robbins, you are commoditized, you are finished. Lack of brand loyalty. When price becomes the only deciding factor, loyalty goes out of the window. No one is loyal to anyone anymore. Finally, so what happens? You stop even marketing, sales, service competencies, everything start dropping because all these cost you. And when you are unable to predict what is going to be the outcome of it because of massive commoditization, what do? So over a period of time, companies also become lethargic. They say, यार ठीक है, जो खुदा को मंजूर है होने दो. The majority of companies are facing the commodity trap. It is not just you or me. 63% of all companies are facing the commoditization of the products and services worldwide. And 54% of the companies realize that they have not yet taken sufficient action to escape the commodity trap. And commoditization is not restricted to small and mid-sized companies only. Commoditization is widespread. Low-end and mid-market segments are affected more. But even the premium segment, 20% of the premium segment is affected very seriously by commoditization. But only good thing is maybe in most of these cases, they are cash rich. They do things which are slightly different from what the intermediate and the low-end segments do. So what exactly is this? How do entrepreneurs react? They react basically in 2 ways to the commodity trap. One is by playing by the rules of the game. What are the rules of the game? Compete within the commodity trap through price. Go in for economies of scale and restructure and cut cost so that at least you can run the company for some time. This is usually what most mid-size and smaller, low-budget companies do. Because they don't have the money to adopt the second thing, which is change the rules. You have got 3 aspects which are driving commoditization. Customer. As product and services become commoditized, customer loyalty decreases. Purchasing decisions are increasingly driven by price. And businesses need to find ways to differentiate themselves by focusing on customer experience. And when small companies cannot, but when you have a lot of money with you, you do that. You create a differentiation. You challenge the competition. Technological advancements often contribute to commoditization by making products easier to replicate. And finally, competition is so intense that there is absolutely nothing you can do but innovate to survive for a few days. That is where the escape route comes. Tackle all the three elements of the commodity trap and their indicators through innovation and try to escape commoditization. Select and implement an appropriate set of counteractions for the competitors. These are the two things which most companies do. But there are some companies who are very cash rich and they have got the ability and they do something which is slightly different. Let us see. You have one typewriter and it ends up as 100 typewriters. That is what is called commoditization. And companies which have got a lot of money, what do? They differentiate the product by changing their one product. Instead of horizontally, they go vertically, and that is what is called differentiation or innovation. There are innovative ways in which companies have tried to overcome it. Some of them, they do branding and storytelling and survive for some time. Like iPhones, technically similar to Android phones, but Apple maintains a premium positioning to branding, ecosystem integration, customer loyalty programs, and various other things. Then you have got customization and personalization, like the Nike for you, they made where they started co-creating with the customer, telling him, you tell me what you want, I will make that Nike and give you the color of the Nike, the shoelace color, and all those things. The third thing is bundling and ecosystem lock-in, which is what Microsoft did. Microsoft 36 Office was a standalone Office software. And then you have got the bundle, subscription models. Then you have got the service and subscription models, which HP, Inc., and the, the shaving blade, Gillette, they did. And then speed and agility, like Zara fast fashion, which has been copied by Tata Snow. I don't remember the name offhand. But they try to bring the latest fashion as early as possible. All these things they do. So that they can avoid commoditization, but for some time. But what is the most unfortunate thing about it? The unfortunate thing is they are all still in the red ocean fighting for the same customer segment. When I say this, the first question which will come in your mind is, are you trying to tell us then that innovation does not work? To understand this, you need to take a critical look at innovation and why it is often not the best choice or the best possible choice for every company. How many of you are asking this question? Innovation has been a fad with the industry for too long. It is something which people love to talk about. So the first question you will ask me then is, that means you are telling that innovation is not the answer. I'm not saying innovation is not the answer. Innovation is one of the answers, but not often the answer for every company. Let's see why I'm saying that. Why innovation is not the best response to commoditization. The first and foremost reason is innovation is very costly and a very serious investment risk. You might start off on an innovation journey with significant R&D investment, which may not always guarantee returns. The cost of developing new products, upgrading technology, or refining services can strain financial resources, especially for smaller businesses or for mid-sized businesses. Secondly, the type of talent you require to drive innovation as a corporate strategy is very, very, very tricky. You might not be able to source it. Second, the differentiation is often very short-lived. In many industries, competitive advantages from innovations are very temporary. Competitors can quickly imitate or improve upon innovations, leading to constant innovation treadmill. And this can be a big problem for companies, excepting for gigantically huge companies, it can be a big problem. Third thing, market uncertainty and adoption challenges. Customers may not immediately see value in the innovation, leading to slow adoption. Even companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, they have failed miserably with some of our innovations. Google, their Google specs, Apple's virtual reality specs, all those failed. And imagine how much money they must have spent on it. They can afford. Can other companies afford? Then risk of overcomplication. Companies may innovate for innovation's sake, adding unnecessary complexity to their product. This could not just add to the cost, but also take away from customer experience and in the process get rejected and lead to wasting of resources. Then you have got operational challenges and risk integrating innovation into existing products. That can be a big internal friction and implementation difficulties can arise out of it. Brand dilution and cannibalization can happen. There can be execution risks. Brand dilution can happen. Frequent innovation can dilute brand identity. Then there can be regulatory risks and legal risks. Innovation in certain industries, pharmaceuticals, finance, technology, may face serious regulatory challenges. Risks of alienating existing customer. Above all, you see someone has believed and purchased your product. Now you say, I'm going to innovate, I've innovated, and that product is no more useful. That is going to become a very big challenge. So what is the option? Option 1, going by price, gone. Option 2, innovation, gone. Working within and competing and creating a small disruption, gone. Option 3, innovation as a competitive advantage and strategy, highly questionable. That brings us to option 4, prey, which most companies do. Did I say prey? Well, not exactly. There is something that you can do. What is that? And that is what is blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy provides a more sustainable solution by creating entirely new market space where competition becomes irrelevant. I'm sure you must be thinking, is it really so? Is it as simple as that? Believe me, genius sometimes is more simple than anything else. As Einstein said, genius is simplicity. Fools unnecessarily complicate issues. In the same way, blue ocean strategy is a simple solution to getting out of the red ocean. First, let us understand what this blue ocean strategy is. How did it come? Did it drop from the sky? All of a second, one bright morning, did it drop? No. It was the hard work of 2 people, W. Chan Kim and Rene, that created blue ocean. Kim and Rene developed blue ocean strategy through over a decade of research in INSEAD, analyzing 150 strategic moves across 30 industries, spanning over 100 years, over a century. They studied the history of evolution of strategy for over 100 years. They studied 150 different strategic frameworks for over 3 decades and then came up with the blue ocean strategy. They sought to understand why companies achieved long-term success while others remained trapped in competitive battles. Their findings really revealed that businesses need to do something very different. And they were tremendously guided by the work of 2 people of whom you must have heard. They are big names in the industry. They are Clayton Christensen and C.K. Prahalad. Clayton Christensen is the propounder of the disruptive innovation framework. He was a professor in Harvard Business School, and C.K. Prahalad is a leading light who, with two different people, gave two great theories to the world. The first one is core competency theory, which he propounded along with Hamel. And the other is the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid, which he propounded along with Hart. You will be very surprised to know that both these strategies, both these strategic frameworks were adopted by Kim and Rennie. And what they created was a miracle. I'm sure most of you have heard about disruptive innovation. What exactly is disruptive innovation? Disruptive innovation is a market creating strategy. It talks about how to create a market by reducing the price of a product. And the bottom of the pyramid is on, again, a market creating strategy as to how 2/3 of the world population who form the lowest level of the pyramid are not serviced by companies, and how there is a huge fortune to be made in that place. Rennie and Kim, whether they took it directly from them or they evolved into it, I am not sure. But one thing I can tell you, the Blue Ocean strategy draws a lot from both these ideas. Blue Ocean strategy is a combination of value innovation and market creation. Value innovation is different from innovation. We will see what it is. And market creation is leaving the market that you are currently serving as it is without disturbing it, whereas disruption fights in the existing market. Blue Ocean strategy moves away from the existing market into a new market space. While disruptive innovation talks about reducing the price to the customer, Blue Ocean strategy talks about reducing the cost so that the margins will increase for the maker. So let us first understand a bit about value innovation. Value innovation is a framework that focuses on simultaneous pursuit of both innovation and low cost. It's better option than the value cost trade-off, where products are either high value at a much higher price or low value at a lower price. Unlike traditional strategies which focus on either cost leadership, as practiced by Big Bazaar, Walmart, Target, and all these companies. Just a minute. In Blue Ocean strategy, you can give very high value at a relatively low cost for the manufacturer. Innovation usually focuses on either cost leadership, which is characterized by the companies like Walmart and Big Bazaar, or differentiation, that is Apple. Whereas Blue Ocean strategy, value innovation, achieves both simultaneously, making competition irrelevant. Then there is a serious paradigm shift. This is a minor part. The value innovation is a minor part of Blue Ocean strategy, but a very essential part of Blue Ocean strategy, without which Blue Ocean is not complete. But the major part of Blue Ocean strategy is the concept of redrawing boundaries. The concept of market boundaries had arrived with Blue Ocean strategy. The concept of reconstructing market boundaries was proposed in 2005 by Kim and Rene, but it was not very clear to the people what exactly he was talking about, how they were doing it. And then came in 2015 the book titled Blue Ocean Shift, where Kim and Rene explained in greater detail what it is all about. So let us understand what exactly defines a market boundary. Can any one of you unmute and tell me what exactly constitutes market boundaries?
User segment, geography,
price, strategy,
buying capacity,
Product.
Social
Product.
status, sir.
Guruji, positioning.
yeah, that's could be another.
Let's see what it is. The first and foremost thing about market boundaries is customer segment. Who is being served? The traditional boundaries are what? Most industries serve only the most profitable or accessible customer groups. That is what is customer segmentation, isn't it? You try to find out which is the segment where you will have the highest chances of success. The second, what is being offered? The traditional boundary offerings are often built to compete on features and qualities. And we are told that the pain points will decide the features and the qualities. Third, how it is being delivered is the third, the distribution channel. If you look at the business model canvas also, first is customer segment, second is value proposition, third is channel, fourth is relationship, isn't it so? So is it the third is how it is being delivered. Traditional boundaries, products are sold through physical stores, direct sales, industry standard models. Then the competition. Who are the key players? Remote, industry competes within their verticals. Hotels versus hotels, taxis versus taxis. How revenue is generated. There is a very clear-cut dominant logic in every industry as to how revenue is generated. Price models. How is revenue generated? Revenue is generated through outright sales, subscription, fixed pricing, variable pricing. Then, where is the market located? The geography. Where is the market located? Focus is often on urban, developed, or economically viable geographies. You talk about consumption market and non-consumption market. These were the definitions of market boundaries. Blue Ocean strategy smashed all these apart. They said, let's start looking at something very different. Let's see how we can do it differently. Now, to who is Blue Ocean strategy important? This course of Blue Ocean strategy is a 10-day course where we are going to be addressing all these things in a very minute fashion. For who is the Blue Ocean strategy important? For an entrepreneur, let us see how it is going to be important. It is going to help him identify new use cases of existing products. Can anyone tell me an example of a new use case for an existing product which has become a huge success in the market? Think of baking soda.
Mobile phone.
Yes, in a way, but it was given as a feature if you are talking about the photography part of it.
Yeah.
So you see, that was again a feature. But let us see. Now you see, totally different use case. Baking soda. Baking soda usually used for baking, later marketed for deodorizing refrigerators, cleaning teeth, household cleaning. And the company which did was Arm and Hammer. They totally created a different, created an entirely new demand from non-customers. Blue Ocean strategy propounded the theory of non-customers, which is categorized into 3 categories, which we'll be discussing at length during the course, how to identify them. Now, identifying new use cases for existing customers is one way entrepreneurs can get out of the red ocean and move into totally uncontested market space. Arm and Hammer moved totally into an uncontested market space of using baking soda for household cleaning. Optimize customer experience. This is another beautiful way. One company, when I was talking about mobile phones, escalation and other things, I'm 100% sure 90% of the people sitting here immediately thought about one company which is not affected by it. Can anyone of you tell me the name?
iPhone.
Correct. See?
Apple.
Apple. How quickly it comes to your mind? Now, how did Apple do it?
Customer
They did
segmentation.
it. They did it by the blue ocean creation of customer, an uncontested customer space by creating customer experience. What did they do? They optimized the in-store experience with clean layout, hand-on product, interaction, expert staff, turning the entire thing, retail store, into a product differentiator. This one experience which no one has been able to give. And in the process, they built a totally new category of users called iPhone users. You swear by them. They created an ecosystem. You have got iPod, iPad, everything. You are Apple. Now, let us see another way that entrepreneurs can benefit. See, Blue Ocean strategy teaches you how to do this. That is the beauty of it. The Blue Ocean shift in 2015 and the subsequent book on Beyond disruption, which they brought, clearly lays out the, tools, processes and methodologies by which you can implement Blue Ocean strategy and be absolutely sure that if you are serious, willing to get out of your comfort zone as an entrepreneur, you cannot fail. Because everything they have taken into account. Then leveraging. What exactly is leveraging? Leveraging technology and automation to serve customers in new ways. Can any one of you give me an example? One company created a furor by doing this. When pizza was getting commoditized, Domino's came in with real-time tracking and said, I will reach it to you in 15 minutes, thereby creating an entirely new segment of customers who were not happy with the uncertainty of delivery, home delivery. Immediately, a big bulk of those people who were hard-pressed for time and who needed to know when they will get what they have ordered, they shifted. There was a leveraging of technology to serve the customers. Again, a blue ocean strategy. Then, explore new revenue streams. A beautiful step taken by Adobe. Shifted from selling box software to monthly subscription model. And totally moved a chunk away as its own market. Created a totally new set of people. And ushered in the subscription model. These are some of the ways that Blue Ocean strategy can help an entrepreneur. Then comes the spot the customer, underserved and unserved customers. There are a huge number of underserved and unserved customers in every market. Can any one of you tell me what I am talking about?
Rural markets.
Sachets. Earlier, people used to sell big shampoos, then came sachet. Then Cirque du Soleil. The circus, they took away the animals and everything. Targeted adults and corporate audience who found traditional circuses boring and childish. They eliminated the animal acts, added sophisticated storytelling, music, acrobatics to create a whole new category of customers. Today, these type of circuses are being run in auditoriums. Not just for entrepreneurs. It is very important. Blue Ocean strategy is very important for managers because that is where your career lies. It teaches you to look beyond job description and identify new ways to create value as an employee of your company. It teaches you to develop cross-functional skills to contribute outside your core domain. As an employee, you are branded in one particular role. Blue Ocean strategy teaches you how you can use your cross-functional skills to contribute in a core domain and become the go-to person in the organization. And then develop expertise in emerging trends, create openings so that, your career will open. It will totally open. For consultants, it is of great use because it teaches you how to do landscape analysis and spot gaps both in your practice as well as in your clients. How can you create a business model innovation and ensure a turnaround in the profitability of your client or for yourself? How can you leverage technology and enhance sustainability of your client? And finally, how to assist with go-to-market strategy and penetrate redefined markets. All these things are going to be discussed, and in an exhaustive manner, we are going to be discussing how to implement and execute the Blue Ocean strategy in the course Blue Ocean Strategy, Master the Art of Uncontested Growth. This is a certificate growth. This is a certificate program. Plus, I will be hand-holding you through that program. Anyone who is going to be joining the full program, I'm going to be hand-holding you through so that you will totally understand and learn it. This program is going to be followed. This is going to be of 10 course sessions. And this is going to be followed by 11 sessions of workshops, starting with how to create a strategy canvas. What is the ERRC grid through which you are going to be implementing value innovation? What is the hotspot, cold spot analysis for relocation and reallocation of resources? What is the concept of value innovation wherein you are going to generate value as well as reduce cost to the person who is generating it? How do you identify non-customers? Because when we are talking about uncontested market space, obviously, non-customers are the one we are talking about. Because you're not going to be attacking the existing customer base. So what happens is, as an entrepreneur, if you have a particular customer base, that remains intact. You're not going to cannibalize it. You're not going to bring a question mark onto it by giving a product which is totally an innovation so that the current product which is using goes out. That is not going to happen. You are going to be creating a totally new customer base. How you are going to be understanding buyer utility? What is the 6-path framework? What is the a pioneer migrator settler map, which will help you to identify the process? And finally, what is going to be the Blue Ocean Index? How do you decide whether the adoption of this Blue Ocean strategy can work? You see, one of the major things, a couple of days back I had put in the group that in 2023, NASCOM had said that 80% of startups fail. And the reason they give is poor product market fit or poor unique value proposition. BOI will ensure that that will never happen because BOI, the Blue Ocean Index, is all about finding out whether there is a market for your product. Simple. That index will tell you whether the market fit is there for the product or not. And then you see one of the biggest problem is, it has been observed by all management gurus, that it is not the strategy which is always at fault. In most of the cases, it is the execution of the strategy which is at fault. So Blue Ocean strategy has ensured the sequence of strategy, that is embedding execution in the strategy in such a way that the strategy does not fail. That is one of the unique features of Blue Ocean strategy. And the 11th workshop is going to be case study, where you take separate industry and work on it and see how it is going to be done. I'm sure you must be wondering what all this will cost you. The course, 10 classes course, is 25,000 rupees, and per workshop is 2,500. 12 workshops will be there. So the total course is going to be 55,000 rupees. But hold a second. You can get it for free, and you can get much more than that. Totally free. I mean it. You can get it for free and much more by joining the exclusive premium strategy subscription group. It is 10,000 rupees per month, in which all the strategy classes will be given free to you. In addition to that, you will get 2 days of my personal hand-holding for these strategy classes. I will personally hand-hold you one-on-one and take you through the entire process so that you become an expert in it. It is not just teach and fly class. There will be 4 classes every month, every weekend. There will be a class on Blue Ocean strategy or a workshop. And following that, 2 days in a month, the first half 1 day, and in the second half 1 day, I will be spending one-on-one minimum 1 hour with you to take you through the entire process. Beyond this, there is something for those entrepreneurs who want that they would like to co-create with me and work to implement these in their companies. I have my mentorship program. Those of you who are interested can talk to me on WhatsApp. The mentorship program is a monthly program where 4 days I spend with you in implementing what you want in your company to turn it around. If both of these you don't want, you can still attend those classes, which are all standalone effective classes. The first of these is going to be on 13th of this month, which is going to be, I'm going to be discussing the fundamentals of Blue Ocean strategy. That class cost is 2,500. I will be putting the flyer and the link in the group, and I will also be sending it by mail. You can definitely consider it if you are interested. So there are 3 options to you. You can join the Premier Executive Strategy Group, which is 10,000 rupees per month, where you can attend all my strategy classes, including Blue Ocean strategy, design thinking, value messaging, value demonstration, value creation. All those classes, strategy classes, you can attend for free. And I will be spending 2 days with you, 1 hour each, one in the first half and one in the second half, to handhold you to the entire thing. The second is you can take personal mentorship. You can talk to me about it, where I will be spending 4 days with you, 1 hour, 1 to 1.5 hours each, in trying to implement it in your, career or in your business. Or you can join each of these classes individually. Those classes which you feel you want to learn, you want to understand, you can join. They are 2,500 per class. And all these are going to be appearing in my books. 2 have already come. Mission Best Gift Ever, which is on goal setting. And then congratulations, you have been living a life, which is on self-actualization. Both these are available in Kindle. You can just post this author's title and the author's name, and you will be able to download it on Kindle and listen to it. If you have got Kindle Unlimited, they are free. Otherwise, you'll have to purchase. Now, friends, I am opening the group for questions. Any questions you have, you may ask me. Thank you. Any questions?
Sir, just one question.
Yes.
I just want to understand, is there any use case where
Yes. Can you please, can I see you? Unmute your video.
Yes, sir. One minute.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now
No,
it
I
is
just asked,
coming up.
no, I was just asking, is there any use case where these blue ocean strategy has been applied and success has been seen?
Huge.
Yeah.
There are so many cases. All the cases
Right.
which I have spoken to you about just now, they were
Right, sir.
all, blue ocean strategy application only. You see, blue ocean strategy is a framework. Depending upon what it is which is useful to you, you apply it. It's a framework for creating value innovation. What is value innovation? You create value at a much lesser cost for the company. That means the margins increase, the value for the customer increases, and you leave the current customer base as it is and move into an uncontested customer base.
Sir, in the Indian context, can you just give some examples, sir, if you don't mind?
Nirma is one example.
Yeah.
Okay, that is one example which is clearly visible. Geo is another example. That is second example which is there. And then, these are all not pure blue ocean. If you are looking at pure blue ocean, another example, classic example would be fog.
Shampoo sachet.
Guruji,
Yeah.
Guruji, I think Patanjali can be the one.
Patanjali is one other example. But see, one of the things which we need to understand is there are pure blue ocean strategies and there are hybrid blue ocean strategies. I'll tell you 2-3 hybrid blue ocean strategies. I will tell you. Uber is a hybrid blue ocean strategy. Airbnb is a hybrid blue ocean strategy. When Ola came and commoditized Uber, Ola took a lead and moved into, auto, then, motorcycle and other all sorts of things they gave. That became a slightly blue ocean strategy to overcome the contest. Then came Uber with the reply of Uber Eats. Then Ola again came with Ola Foods. So you see, one thing we need to understand is you create a blue ocean. It is not going to remain blue ocean always. It will start getting red, bloodied again because the competitors will enter. Then, you are on a treadmill. You have to constantly keep redefining yourself. And you'll have to keep moving. But one of the advantages of blue ocean is you keep expanding the market. Whereas in innovation, what you do, you keep shrinking the market. Innovation creates niches. Blue ocean expands it. And
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
Can Patanjali really be said as a blue ocean strategy?
It is, I told you now, it is not a pure blue ocean strategy, but there are components of blue ocean strategy in it because it redefined a totally new segment. It brought in what? You see, Patanjali, if you look at it very closely, is the application of BOP into FMCG. Bottom of the pyramid. What did he do? He brought Desi concept and put it on the people who are not very comfortable with FMCG products. That is the reason why he exploded. He is today by far the biggest FMCG company in India. He is giving a run to even companies like Hindustan Lever and Procter & Gamble. How can he do that if he had not done it in such a beautiful way by taking, by expanding the market in such a big way? Because of his coming, Procter & Gamble and Hindustan Lever did not lose much of a market share, but Patanjali exploded the market to such an extent that he had become a totally big player along with them. There is nothing totally pure in anything. But blue ocean strategy, one thing we have to remember in our mind is the two main focus areas of blue ocean strategy is creation of an uncontested market space. You mean to tell me, just see what is the meaning of uncontested market space? He might have taken a large chunk of Hindustan Lever, Procter & Gamble and other FMCG companies into his fold. But will Hindustan Lever and Procter & Gamble be able to take any customer from him? So you see, he has in fact created an uncontested market space for himself. Now you see that Uber coming in did not totally stop taxi market. But once you have experienced ride sharing and the benefits of Uber and Ola, will you go back to a taxi again? What are the chances of they taking you back? Just imagine, Mr. Raju, you are going with your family and friends and a big extended family. You are going on a vacation somewhere. You want a good hotel, a neat hotel, a safe place to stay. What will be the expense earlier? Today, what have they done? Airbnb and all these things. They have helped you to live comfortably in a decent place with all the amenities without that much of cost, and the person who is doing it is earning tremendously. So there is benefit value for you and high income for him.
Homestay is an example.
Homestay, that's why Airbnb is a homestay.
Yeah.
And today what has happened? Even big companies have started coming out with apartments. You have the hotel and you have got apartments next to it.
Sir, you talked about the uncontested marketplace, and bottom of pyramid, you quoted the example of Sache, but that is also a type of innovation, no, sir?
Yes, obviously it is a type of innovation.
And blue ocean requires
See,
innovation.
that's why, again, what is the term I use? Value innovation. You see, there are many types of innovations. There is efficiency innovation, like Clayton Christensen said, disruptive innovation creates market. Efficiency innovation destroys employment. Whereas disruptive innovation creates employment. Now, what is disruptive innovation? Many people mistakenly think disruptive innovation is about disruption. No, disruptive innovation disrupts, but it is not about disruption. It is about addressing that part of the segment which is not covered. Disruptive innovation comes in many shapes and sizes. Value innovation is slightly different than disruptive innovation or any other type of innovation, in that it addresses, any value innovation has to address two aspects. One, it has to give benefit to the customer and benefit to the owner in terms of cost. One, it has to give you value. The other, it has to give you a cost benefit, not price benefit. There is a difference between price and cost. Price is for the customer, cost is for the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So you see, it has to give you cost benefit. That means the manufacturer, the one who is affected, has to be benefited. In commoditization, the price benefit goes to the customer, but there is no cost benefit to the manufacturer. There is a decrease in margin for the manufacturer. In that way, value innovation is a very important concept. When it is combined with creating extra market, a separate market space, that is when it becomes a blue ocean strategy.
Yeah.
These are the two major aspects. There are various ways of creating this. It is called the ERRC grid. And then, there is this buyer utility concept, the drivers, the leverages of buyer. See, all these things we will be discussing at length and how to use it. The whole idea
Yes.
is blue ocean strategy is an execution format. The advantage of blue ocean strategy is it is executable.
So can we say that the margins last longer in blue ocean strategy?
The margins last longer in blue ocean strategy is going to be linked closely with the product life cycle.
Yeah.
If the product life cycle is going to be long, it is going to last longer. That is going to depend again upon the type of market segment that you are in and how fast something can be cloned. You understand what I mean? If you are in a market where the product can be cloned very fast, then of course the margin will not last long.
Yeah.
You have created a totally new space, but how long will it? See, just imagine. You know, this company Fog, they came out with Bina gas wala scent. I don't know whether anyone has come out with it again after that. Is there any other brand like that now? It's still maintaining its lead position. Again, the baking soda thing. It's still leading, they're keeping the leading position because no one has come to clone it. So you see, it all depends. Now, and another thing I'll tell you, Mr. Rajendran, nothing is permanent in this world. Any other questions? If there are no more questions, thank you, friends. It was very nice talking to you. I hope you could get something from this session. I'll be sending the poster and the link for registration for the 13th program. If any one of you is interested, you can join. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night, sir.